Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Um, I just want to say that I've been thinking about this YouTube stuff, and I've really wanted to do this, and I honestly, if I'm being honest, I hate it at the same time because every time I get on, or every time I think about it, I'm like, I'll have to drink coffee, I'll have to do all this stuff and get all, you know, energied up to be entertaining, but sometimes, it's just like, just be you. And, I know this is what a lot of people say, like, oh, how to become famous, just be you. And it's true, because when you think of it, every YouTuber has their own style. Yes, it might be a fake personified one, but then you can tell behind the scenes that they're not happy with what they're doing. They don't like it. Let's take, for instance, I'm not trying to throw anyone under the bus, so I'm not going to say anyone's name, yet they are a rather big YouTuber. They said, I love doing this. Like, when you can just play games for a job, that's amazing. But then they're saying, but I feel like I've created this fake persona around myself. And I hate that because, it's not you. And when you get really famous from that, it feels like they don't like you. They like the person you're trying to be. So you keep being that person, and then you're just like, you know what? Once you get so far down the rabbit hole, you just get, you just get caught up in it, and you can't, it's like too late to change. And so this is just gonna be just me playing Minecraft, and you may have noticed I've had so many different videos, playing so many different games, playing different levels of energy, different senses of humor, kind of different, and I was like, that just hasn't worked out for me. It's so inconsistent. I watched this guy's YouTube video and I'm like, oh, that's funny what he does. Then I try it and it's just like, you know what, that's just not me. And so then I just be you. If you're high energy, you're high energy. If you're not high energy, you're not high energy. There's nothing wrong about that. And so, yeah, it doesn't matter what you do, as long as you're not, hurting anyone or anything. You can do it. You got the whole world is yours to explore. And if you don't know how to really say this without making it sound or phrase it right, actually, if there's a group of friends you have that pressure you, not peer pressure, but hard to explain, try to make you do something, this is peer pressure, but try to make you change your views on something. Let's say, oh, I really like this game. They're like, you like that game? I don't like that game. You can't like that game. Or, oh, you like this game? Or, oh, I like this game, so you have to like this game. And it's there's different opinions, not everyone has the same taste in music. It's okay to have different tastes in music. Just find a thing you like and, stick with it, because that's you. You don't want to change you. And so there's all these people that genuinely just might like this one certain genre of music, and it is possible, this whole big, all these people like this certain genre of music, but then it's also oh, this really cool person likes this genre of music, so I like that genre of music. and then it just kind of spreads from there. It's like, oh, those two people in my friend group like this music, so I like that, and it just spreads and spreads from there. But it's okay to be different. Like, same thing with like senses of style. I feel like there are too many people trying to be like have different senses of style and different just how they dress, and I honestly don't really care about it until I did. But yeah, I found these. I was just going clothes shopping for the start of school. It was just, you know, a whole bunch of like computer stuff, like a webcam and like that kind of stuff, air duster, because I will be on my computer a lot this school year. And then it was just like, oh, these pants are really cool, I'm gonna get them. And I mean, it started off as, oh, this sense of style works really well on some other people, so why wouldn't it work well on me? And number one, don't do that, because find what you like and get it. And so I got those pants, and those are my favorite pants. And I found a shirt that goes really well with it, and like I feel like I have my quote unquote style, and it's just that sense of not really accomplishment, but that feeling that really matters. Like, I am my own person. You know, like so many kids at my school have the same sense of style. And they do that because the other kids have that sense of style and the other ones have it. And so it just starts this whole big, oh, I don't want to stick out too much. But it's 100% okay to stick out. I mean, that's what makes you, you. The reason that the reason that people are popular is because they stick out, or they started something and they have to stick out to start something. So when you think of all the popular people at your school or wherever you are, they didn't do that just by blending in with everyone else. They stuck out in some reason, and they were like, wow, that person's different. Or like, if they're really funny, they're like, man, this person's really funny. Or man, this person's really smart, or like that kind of stuff. And that's why they're popular. They're not popular just, no one's born popular, you know? You have to earn it, I guess, in a way, you know? Like, it is kind of hard to explain, but be you and things will come to you. Like, just be you, and you don't have to worry about anything. Like, let's say you're trying to like impress someone. Don't try to pretend to be someone you're not, because, you know, they're gonna realize that, and then that's gonna like set a bad reputation for you. And let's say you're applying for a job and you're trying to look all professional and like you're putting on your resume, and let's say you haven't done a lot of extracurricular activities. You just play, let's say, baseball as a hobby. You sit at home a lot. You like to cook. You're just kind of like an introvert, you know, not doing a lot of things for the community, but you're doing stuff that you like. And if you put that stuff on your resume, then, oh, where's my house? If you put like that normal stuff on your resume, yes, there's a less likely chance you'll get the job. But if you, okay, I'm actually lost now. But if you put stuff that you don't do, you're more, what was I doing then? Right. If you put stuff that you actually do, and let's say you have a very boring life. I have to say I have a pretty boring life. Well, compared to like other people, and here it is. And so, I forgot where I was going with this. Anyway. Right. If you put what you actually do on a job resume, you're more likely to get a job that you like. Because let's say, oh, I really want to be this person, but this pays so much money, and like that kind of stuff. If you really want to be this, go for that, even if it's just pays minimum wage, you know? You don't need money to be happy. I mean, money is helpful, but you don't need it to be. I would say that I know many people that are happy that don't have a lot of money. And they're happy because they enjoy the simple things in life that matter, you know? Like, and I also have to work on that, not taking things too much for granted. Like, I know some people that are, like, they don't live in, like, they don't live in like, the richest part of town. They don't live in a nice big house. They don't have nice clothes. They don't have, like, they just an average person. Maybe even a little below average income. But they're happy. And I one time asked this person, not like as like a, why are you so happy all the time? Like, you have nothing. I just asked them because they were always just so, like, they seemed so genuinely happy. Like, they always came into school and they were always like, hey, how you doing? And that kind of stuff. And I was just asking, like, as a, not as like a joke, but as like a genuine question. Like, why are you always happy all the time? Like, what is this thing? And he's like, oh, I don't know, just take life as it comes. Don't expect anything from someone. And just take it as it comes. And I was like, what? You're right. So just, if life throws you one thing, just dodge it or take it, and and life sucks. I'm being honest. Life is a bitch. It's like, oh, you want to do this? Nah, you're not doing that. You're gonna do this, and you're like, but I don't want to do that. And you're like, no, you're doing this, and you're like, oh, okay. And then next thing you know, you're stuck in like in a rut. You're not in a good place in life. But that happens in life. You're not always gonna be happy. You're not always gonna be this energetic in life. So you gotta enjoy it as it comes. And I wouldn't say I've been getting, I haven't been, it's not like a depressing thought, it's just a thought that keeps coming, like, one day, all this is gonna be, like, all this is gonna change, like, this friend group I have is gonna, disband, this whole thing I have, it's all gonna just go away someday. So what's kind of the point in doing all this? And then I just kind of like asked someone, like, what is the point of life? Because so many people ask it, like, and they don't get a genuine answer. And then a lot of them are like, oh, your point in life is or the meaning of life is be happy, do what you love. And if I'm being honest, I don't 100% agree with that. I think it's more, be you. You don't have to be happy, be you. Just do what you like. And yeah, doing that will probably mean you're happy, but just be you. That's the meaning of life. You don't have to, really, you don't have to do anything to fit the quote-unquote meaning of life. All you have to do is just live, There is no real meaning of life. It's just, you wake up one day, and like, you know what? Today wasn't a good day. There's a new day, right tomorrow. And even if your life sucks and it's terrible, I don't recommend this, but you can always just start a new one. And so many people do that. And I didn't make a bed, did I? No. And if I'm being honest, it's not. Sorry about that. Shouldn't be your first choice, but if you need it, there's always a chance to restart. Like, I think of life as trying to put this in a way that doesn't make me sound like a computer addict. Screw it. I think of life as a computer or an electronic device. You get a new, let's say, phone. You get a new phone. You're so excited about your new phone. using it all the time. You're learning how to use all this stuff on it. And that's like when you're born. You're learning how to walk, talk, perceive things, feel different feelings, identify those feelings, all that stuff. You're so just, you're learning about it. And then maybe once you're 5 or so, you realize that, hey, like once you're a few weeks into having your new phone, you're like, oh, cool, I can like download games on this, and there's so much I can do on this. There's like I can call people. I mean, obviously that's what you get the phone for, but then you notice that you can download games and download different apps and all that stuff, and I have a lot of them. That's like when you're around 5 to 8, you realize that I can like play, like I can do this, I can. And that's why a lot of little kids get hurt, because they're all like, hey, I could do that. And they try, maybe they don't. Like, you try to download a game on your phone or your computer and you don't have enough storage. You're like, oh, okay, so you need to free up some storage. And then that's like practicing. It's just pretty much what I'm getting at. Life has its ups and downs. It's not the downs that should impact your life. It's more of the ups, the things that stick out in your mind the most, If this sticks out in your mind a lot, that matters a lot to you. Even if it's negative. What if it's positive? It doesn't. Like, I remember one of the, like, when I think of being 5, I remember going to Disney World. And I was like, oh, that's probably just because it was just a big place and it's kind of overwhelming for me. And it was, yes. But then also I was like, that has a positive impact on me. Because without that, I wouldn't have I was only there for like a week. And it's made like a year's worth of memories. Like, whenever I see this one kind of hat, I always think of a time or just think of that place, Disney World. It makes me happy. Like, oh, there's a time in life where, don't want to say where I was happy, but where, like, I didn't know that life was so bad and life threw you all this shit. Or whenever I smell like just a scentless soap, like not like scent, like it has a scent, but it's not a specific scent. I always think, like, go back to that hotel room, how, like, soft the beds were, and then waking up and having family that still does live in Washington, the state, so like way opposite side of the country from me, and just knowing that, like, waking up and just having them over there. And then, I mean, at the time it was just my aunt and uncle, but then going back when I was, so let's see, my little cousin was 5, so that would be, I don't know, when I was 14, maybe? No, 12. No, 4. You know what? I was younger. I don't remember. Because I don't know how old he is now. Like, no, it's 13. This was a few years ago. I actually don't know. I should try to figure that out. Anyway. But just going back there and reliving all of those memories, like, even if it's not the same as I remember, it's still there, and it still brings back all those memories. Like, I remember there's this dinosaur playground. Don't know why this stuck out to me so much, but because it's a huge playground. I loved that thing so much. That was probably the highlight, one of the highlights of that whole trip. And going back there and seeing, there's just something seeing other kids, like little kids, enjoy it. And you're just there, like, looking at them like, you don't know how lucky you have it to not have a care in the world. And just thinking that, like, one day they might be in the same position. Look back on, on this day and just think, like, man, life was so good then. All these kids were happy, and everyone was getting along. Everyone was, there wasn't nothing bad happened. You didn't have to worry about anything bad happening because, you're a kid. You don't have to worry about anything, pretty much. You just have to worry about being a kid. And I think that all up until the day you die. You know, just be a kid as long as you can. Even if you're not legally a kid, just be a kid, you know? Like, think back to, like, your dream job. Like, when you were a little kid, what was your dream job? And then, if that job is still around, which it most likely is, then get it. Like, you know, like, even if it's hard, if it's your dream job, then you'll work hard enough to get it, you know? Like, my dream job used to be, and it might still be, I'm actually not sure, was to be like a engineer or a rocket engineer or an aeronautics engineer, something like that, that deals with engineering, math, and science, and all this stuff. And then I realized, like, if I don't do good in those classes, I don't think that's the job for me. So then I started just looking at what jobs do you have to have, like, quote unquote, no skill for. And when I say no skill, I mean you don't have to be really good at math. You don't have to be like really good at anything. You just have to know what you're doing. And I was thinking, like, a mechanic. Like, yeah, you have to be good at math and science, but to get into tech ed, or like what's it called? Tech something. As at my school, there's a thing called, like, tech, let's say tech ed, but that's not right. Where they just teach you stuff that, you know, school stuff, you know, like how to get this job and this job, what to expect. Like, they have the cosmetology one, they have a auto mechanic one, they have, you know, all these different things. And it's like, to go into the mechanic thing, you only need to pass Algebra 1. It just said pass. You didn't have to excel in it. You just had to get a good enough grade, so it's like, passing isn't a C and above, but like a C and above would probably be like, yeah, we'll consider it. Like, we'll look on why you have a C. Did I say C and a half? I don't know. I'm kind of tired, but yeah. They'll like look at it and be all like, yeah, we'll count it, you know. If depends what you got that C for. And yeah, so there's some jobs that like a mechanic. I'd love to be a mechanic because that is like some parts of engineering, you know. There's some math in there. There's some calculating, like, oh, if I were to, you know, not much because it's already like a car's already put together, so you just kind of have to replicate it. But you know, like, I was thinking of like, okay, what's a job that I can easily get? And I was thinking of all these easy jobs that there's, again, like, not a lot of skill to get. And I was just like, oh, just get me there. I'm like, no, I don't want to just get there. I want to get there. Like, I want to be happy in my career. And I was working at a bike shop for a little while, and I guess I kind of am. And don't get me wrong, I kind of loved working there. I mean, it was a bike shop, so, you know, I get to work with my hands and do all this stuff, but one of my bosses I had two bosses. There was the manager, and then there was the owner. And normally it goes like the owner's cool and the manager's a dick, but this was the opposite way around. The owner, like, of course, since he owned the place, literally, he wanted that place to be spotless. And when I tell you spotless, I mean spotless. And it's a pretty old shop, so it's very hard to keep it very clean and spotless. And he's also all about saving money, it's very good. But I think I lost my house again. But he wouldn't fix something if it's absolutely needed. Like, the roof was falling apart, and there wasn't any water leaking through. And so it was just all like, oh, it's fine. We'll get it when it's like falling apart. And I was like, okay, yeah, I mean, you know, it's understandable. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, this was a broken roof, and, you know, Should probably fix the roof. But yeah, anyway, blah, blah, blah. I would go out there, you tell me to go, oh, sweep up the pieces of the roof that are falling off. I'm like, oh, okay. And when I'm going out there sweeping up, I'm thinking like, why doesn't he just get a new roof? Like, you know, his whole shop is falling apart. Just, it's been here since 1931 or something like that. Just get a new roof, you know, that has to change. And he is trying to like keep it all original, because it was like, I don't know if it was family owned, but, or I don't know if it's family owned, but it's got like, he bought it from his dad or his grandpa, something like that. I know he didn't inherit it, but he bought it from them when they were like thinking about retiring and selling the business. He's like, oh, I'll buy it. And I was like, oh. So it's not a family business, it's just kind of like, he kind of bought it from his dad, I think. Anyway, so he's kind of all about keeping it and is like how it was, and it was hand filling out receipts, and it's pain in the ass when you're trying to fill out a ticket for like a bike. Like when you're putting a bike out on the thing, you have to like write it down, and it's just, ugh, I hate it. It's kind of like, again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's like, it worked. I'm like, yes, but there's more efficient ways. Anyways, blah, blah, blah. What I'm getting at, before I go on a rant about my job, that I kind of hate, that I quit. Oh my god, see, this is why I can't have a conversation. So I will just and just get off task about what I'm talking about. Right, so pretty much moral of today's episode, do what you like. It doesn't matter what anyone says. Just do what you like and good things will come. So yeah, good night, good morning, good evening, whatever that is. Even if you're not having a good day, good morning, good night, or good evening, you know, just, hey, you can get through it, alright? So don't be all sad that today is bad, because there's tomorrow. If tomorrow's bad, there's a next day, and so on. Yeah, this video is dragged on longer than I'd like, and I'm hopefully not going to cut a lot or anything out, because I feel like I've had a very deep conversation today. And yes, it is like 2 a.m., so this is where my late night things come to mind, like, you know what, and see what I mean? Anyways, guys, thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and, you know, spread joy wherever you go. And always make sure to stay hydrated, wear your seatbelt, wear your helmets, and always stay safe.
Thank you.